When the hunter's moon rises high in the night sky, nature doesn't just sleep, it throws a party, or a crime scene, depending on which side of the food chain you're on. While some animals revel in the extra moonlight, others find it to be the worst spotlight imaginable. Predators and prey alike must adjust their behavior in response to this lunar glow, often leading to fascinating and sometimes unexpected changes in the wild. So let's shine a light on what really happens when the moon takes center stage. The great animal schedule. Who's awake when? Nature runs on a strict schedule, but it's a little more diverse than your typical 9 to 5. According to research, a whopping 44% of mammals prefer the nightlife and are classified as nocturnal. Meanwhile, 26% embrace the day like a morning person, with too much caffeine. The remaining 29%, they're the unpredictable ones, active during dawn, dusk, or whenever their stomachs demand it. But the moon isn't just a pretty light in the sky. It acts like an uninvited guest that changes the entire flow of the night. For many animals, the brightness of a full moon is like someone suddenly flipping on a stadium light. Some love it, some hate it, and some just try to survive under its glow. The full moon's effect on hunting and hiding. For nocturnal creatures, darkness is their best friend. The full moon, however, crashes the party by providing an extra dose of visibility. Many animals have evolved to rely on darkness for protection from predators, so when the full moon illuminates the land, it's like a neon sign flashing. Dinner is here. But here's where things get interesting. While it might seem logical that predators would have an easier time spotting their prey with all this extra light, the reality isn't that simple. With the landscape bathed in moonlight, predators themselves become easier to spot, which means many prefer to take the night off rather than risk becoming a target themselves. Some animals, like owls, take full advantage of the situation. Since their hunting strategy isn't based on sight alone, but also sound, they may actually become more active. Meanwhile, animals like foxes and big cats that rely on stealth and shadows may find themselves at a disadvantage, forced to either switch tactics or risk being seen by their next meal. The science of moonlight and animal senses. Different animals rely on different senses to navigate the world. While some creatures depend on their eyesight, others, such as bats and certain rodents, use echolocation, sound, and smell to detect prey and avoid predators. This means that while a full moon might be an inconvenience for one species, it could be a non-issue or even a bonus for another. For example, bats, which primarily use echolocation rather than vision, don't care much about the full moon's brightness. Meanwhile, animals like deer and rabbits, who rely on staying hidden, might become extra cautious, reducing their movements and avoiding open fields where they'd stand out like a sore thumb. On the other hand, prey animals that use eyesight as their main defense may actually benefit from the extra moonlight. With better visibility, they can spot lurking predators from a greater distance, giving them a crucial head start when running for their lives. Predators versus prey. Who has the upper hand? The battle between hunter and hunted doesn't have a simple winner under the full moon. While many studies have found that nocturnal prey animals become more skittish and less active during bright nights, the same studies show that certain predators might also choose to sit out the night. If a predator like a wolf or a leopard knows it's easier for prey to see them coming, it might just opt to rest rather than waste energy on a failed hunt. Birds of prey, on the other hand, often thrive under a full moon. Owls, for instance, are experts in silent hunting, and the added brightness doesn't expose them in the same way it does land predators. Instead, it gives them an advantage over rodents scurrying about, who have fewer places to hide. So while the full moon might make life tougher for stealth-dependent hunters like foxes, it turns other predators, especially those that rely on non-visual senses, into unstoppable forces. A moonlit conundrum: to hunt or not to hunt. This lunar dilemma leads to different strategies depending on the habitat. In open fields, where there's no cover to hide behind, most animals, both predator and prey, lay low, avoiding exposure that could make them easy targets. Studies have shown that lions in the African savanna, for instance, tend to be less successful at hunting on full moon nights, as their prey, like zebras and wildebeests, can see them coming from a distance. On the other hand, nocturnal hunters like barn owls often see an increase in their success rates during full moons, as they rely on vision to locate their prey. In dense forests, however, where moonlight is filtered through thick canopies, the effect of the moon is less dramatic, and many animals continue their usual routines. Some primates, such as night monkeys, are more active during full moons, taking advantage of the extra visibility. One fascinating discovery is that moonlight's influence on wildlife is so strong that it can alter the success rates of certain species. Some researchers suggest that lunar phases might play a significant role in shaping animal populations over time. If a species struggles to find food on bright nights, it could impact their survival rates in the long run, influencing evolutionary changes that favor those better adapted to varying light conditions. Moonlight and evolution, an ongoing relationship. The effects of moonlight on animal behavior aren't just a modern phenomenon, they've been shaping the animal kingdom for millions of years. Many species have evolved unique adaptations in response to the lunar cycle. For example, fireflies, which rely on bioluminescence to attract mates, often dim their signals on bright nights to avoid being spotted by predators. Some marine species, like coral reef fish, synchronize their spawning cycles with lunar phases, ensuring that their eggs hatch under optimal conditions. Species that thrive in moonlit environments have developed specialized eyesight, like the tarsier, a small primate with enormous eyes designed to capture as much light as possible. Meanwhile, others have evolved behaviors to minimize their exposure when the sky is too bright for comfort, such as scorpions, which become more sluggish under intense moonlight to avoid detection. Even human ancestors likely adapted their hunting and survival strategies based on lunar cycles. Some anthropologists suggest that early humans took advantage of the extra light for nighttime activities, much like modern animals do. In fact, ancient hunters may have planned their expeditions around the phases of the moon, maximizing their chances of tracking prey, while minimizing their own visibility to predators lurking in the dark. A full moon is more than just a pretty sight. Next time you gaze up at a full moon, remember that it's not just a scenic view. It's a major player in the nightly drama of survival. Whether it's making some animals bolder, turning others into nervous wrecks, or causing an owl to have the best hunting night of its life, moonlight is a powerful force in the wild. So while we humans might just use it as an excuse for late-night strolls or spooky stories, for many animals, it's a game changer. Whether that means feasting or fasting, fighting or fleeing, one thing's for sure: under a full moon, nature is never boring. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysterious effects of moonlight on wildlife, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating content. Have thoughts or experiences to share? Drop a comment below. And if you want to stay updated on our latest videos, turn on that notification bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next.